This is IBM Museum, and in a previous video you saw me pull out and unbox that IBM 100 megabit, 16 megabit, 4 megabit capable PCI adapter in that box. Let me get turned around, get the I'll get the webcam turned off so there's not that distortion error that you see video from one source being delayed from the other. But I went through and I did unbox this. I, of course, had previously opened this up, the box being a little bit damaged as shown in that previous video. But I talked about that I only had one of these adapters. And it takes two to tango, effectively, for this. And there's even going to be probably some experimentation that I'll have to do with what I can do for interlinking these boards to go through and try that 100 megabit token ring. I want to go through and test and see what aspect how well it works, because I did go through and I've got this box in. I've got things, addresses masked off, so I can go through and hold this up to effectively to the camera as I get out my knife and go through, being careful not to injure myself. I just can't get that one edge, and let me see if I can go down the seam here. It's even having trouble. And I went through, and I do have a number of packages, but I went through and used the tracking number, actually. Pretty good packing, bubble wrap. We have a little bit late for the New Year's, but I've got confetti that the seller included I could have used for New Year's, and taped bubble wrap around the anti-static bag. So this is good packaging otherwise. For this, I'll just have it out for just a moment. This is the same effective board as I have otherwise still in the box, and it's a bare adapter because I've got everything else. Have that CD disc inside here, so I've got everything I need. Got the manual, everything else I can do. Have that second adapter now to go through. In fact, let's go through and just to pull it out, because I wanted to, they visually look the same, but as we learned in the prior video, let's look at chips on there, look at that appearance, look at other factors. Here's the board that I had. Okay. Going up, board I had, board I received. They both look just this brand new condition, and I'm sure they're from different sources or different times that I picked these up. You can see slight differences. I mean, one has Korea. The board I just received has Korea, and the board I had has USA, and otherwise I would think the microcode and everything else matches up between these adapters. They look close, have all the same connections otherwise. But we get to see these. Okay, so they're both revision 1.0 effectively, and use them side by side. Hopefully the YouTube can get through and give me a thumbnail of that. In fact, even doing that so we have that banner in the background telling what they are. And I've got both adapters. I'll get them put away in the anti-static wrap. I've got two adapters now. I can go through and do a network, deciding what device, what passive device I need, because none of the active Token-Ring hub or anything like that, those things are limited by them working with the Token-Ring network that they handle to that 16 megabit maximum. So I'll have to use a passive device, probably just pull up my 8228 MAW that I have around here and can cable them in together and give it a test. I'll have to come up with what workstation I use for that. I think I've got some of the Think Centers that are probably marked as Lenovo. They're a little bit later than my tweener system. That was right at the change of the transition from IBM to Lenovo, for Lenovo buying out the PC side of the business from IBM. And it's machines that are right at that cusp as well are a little bit hard to find all the drivers for all the motherboard and things. I think on both those units, I have it's where I'm not able to find some of the drivers, like for the sound or something like that. I've got everything critical working. Otherwise, the display and the network, the Ethernet network. And then one of them has 32-bit Vista and the other one has 64-bit Vista. And I'll have to look on that CD-ROM to find out what the support was for those two, that I can hopefully work with that 64-bit machine. I'm just suggesting those might be two possible candidates. I've got others as well that could very well be the host for that. But in a later video, getting through where I can set up two workstations, have them linked together, and we can check out that 100 megabit per second Token-Ring and see what else to it, and maybe guess. I mean, the game was over at that point anyway. Ethernet won out, and of course they moved up even beyond 100 megabit per second, gigabit, and even beyond now. So that's the thing, and even for there, a lot of manufacturers going through, especially laptops and everything else, incorporating that Ethernet port on the motherboard of the laptop or desktop or the tower. So it's just not a ability to put in an old school PCI card anymore for the network connectivity. Ethernet won that, but we'll check out that Token-Ring at 100 megabit per second. So if you thought that this video was informative, you enjoyed it, go ahead and click on that like button, please, and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. Leave comments for what you think of this development, even to give me a, hey, I'm waiting around for you to test that, and I'll respond to comments that are left. But this is IBM Museum. That's all I have for now. Thank you.